नेट का इशू हो सकता है, एनी हो. So we can use the orthogonal property of the normal modes, and we can diagonalize the stiffness, mass, and the damping matrix. This is the equation of motion. We can transform the coordinates from the normal to the modal coordinates. We can multiply the complete equation with phi t, and phi t m phi. We will have another matrix that will be diagonal matrix. Similarly, phi t c phi, we will have the diagonal matrix because it has the property that it will be equal to 0 if I is not equal to j, and it will be equal to some value when I will be equal to j. So we will have the terms along only along the diagonal. So by using by transformation of the coordinates from normal to the modal coordinates, and then by using the orthogonal property, we can decouple the equation of motions. They will be uncoupled, and we will have n single degree freedom equations. The example which we discussed in the beginning was a 3 degree freedom system. The equation of motions, they were coupled. So by doing this one, transformation of the coordinates, and by using the orthogonal property, we will have 3 single degree freedom equations. They will be uncoupled. Okay. Have we discussed this one? Response of the single degree freedom system because of the earthquake excitation. ये किया हमने कि नहीं?
No sir.
ये नहीं किया हमने. ठीक हो गया. Okay, we have the single degree freedom system, and it is subjected to the ground acceleration UG. Single degree freedom system having the stiffness K, damping C, mass M. It is subjected to this ground acceleration, this seismogram. ठीक है जी? So ground acceleration, it's a function of time. It's UG double dot. This is the acceleration of the mass with reference to base. And then this is the total acceleration. So total acceleration is equal to acceleration of the ground plus acceleration of the mass because with respect to the ground. So we can write the equation of motion. Mass time total acceleration, acceleration of the ground plus the acceleration of the mass with respect to base. Stiffness time, the velocity, and k times, damping coefficient times the velocity, stiffness time, the displacement vector, that is equal to 0. Okay, and then we can take m times acceleration term to the right hand side. Okay, so this is the equation of motion for the single degree freedom system subjected to the ground acceleration UG. Okay, we can divide this equation throughout by small m, mass of the system. Okay, m. This will be equal to 1. This will be equal to c over m. This will be k over m. We know that c over 2m is equal to zeta omega n, and k over m is equal to omega n square. We can put the values in this equation. So final expression will be acceleration. इसको मैं छोटा कह रहा हूँ. We will have the acceleration. We will have we can put the value of c over m here, 2 times zeta omega n, and then the velocity plus omega n square, because k over m is equal to omega n square. Omega n square times the displacement. On the right hand side, we just have the acceleration of the ground. Now please look at this equation. The displacement response of the system is the function of the time, small t. Okay. Displacement response of this single degree freedom system subjected to the earthquake excitation, that is the function of time t, damping ratio zeta, and the angular frequency omega n. ठीक हो गया? 3 का फैक्टर है. Small t, this is a time, zeta is the damping ratio, omega n is the angular frequency. Okay, or you can say this is the function of the ratio of k over m, the damping in the system, and also the time t, small t. Now I have one question to you. Is it possible that two systems having different mass or stiffness will have the same response because of the particular earthquake?
नो।
बेटा सोच के बताएं, मैंने आपको अभी बताया है।
अगर सर फ्रीक्वेंसी की वैल्यू सेम है तो फिर मेरे ख्याल में सेम हो सकता है।
Okay, you are right. If k over m is the same, if k over
Yes.
m is the same, then if the k over m is same, time period will be the same. Okay, and if the time period is same, then the response will be the same. So it's quite possible that two systems having different mass and the damping, sorry, mass and the stiffness will have the same response if their k over m is the same, or time period is the same. It's not the function of mass and the stiffness independently. It is the function of omega n or time period. You agree? इससे agree कर रहे हैं कि नहीं? Damping
Yes, sir.
ratio is a function of damping ratio and omega n. Omega n, definitely it's a time period. Okay. Then you can find out the response of the multi-degree freedom system because of the earthquake excitation first, and then we can use the response spectrum method to find out the response of the multi-degree freedom system. First, write the equation of motion for the multi-degree freedom system. This is the equation of motion for the single degree freedom system. This is the equation of motion for the multi-degree freedom system. Okay, how can we write? We have the mass time acceleration, damping coefficient times the velocity, stiffness time the displacement. Either be same है. Mass matrix, acceleration vector, damping matrix, velocity vector, stiffness matrix, displacement vector. So they are the same, almost the same. Then look at the right hand side. On the right hand side, we have mass time the ground acceleration. Mass time the ground acceleration. Is there any difference? ये small r का difference है. Small r is the influence coefficient vector. Small r is the influence coefficient vector. This one we will discuss later. So these two equations are comparable or not? ये वाली equation, this is for the single degree freedom system subjected to the earthquake excitation. This is for the multi-degree freedom system subjected to the earthquake excitation. ठीक हो गया जी? Any question about this equation? No question?
नो सर।
चलें,
Sir?
ठीक हो गया जी बेटा.
सर वो पिछला जो आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा सर उससे थोड़ा समझा दें। वो आपने
ये
कहा
वाला?
कि स्टिफनेस और
ये वाला?
आपने कहा कि स्टिफनेस और मास अगर डिफरेंट हो दो डिफरेंट सिस्टम्स के तो
If the time period or the omega n is the same for two systems having different time having different stiffnesses and the masses, अगर time period same है उनका response same होगा. अगर time period और omega n is the same, and in simple words we can say if ratio of k over m for two systems is the same, then the response will be the same. It's a function of the damping in the system and the ratio of k over m in the system or the time period in the system. ठीक है?
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
जब तक इनकी रेशियो सेम है रिस्पॉन्स सेम होगा. जब रेशियो डिफरेंट होगी रिस्पॉन्स मे बी डिफरेंट. और in another way we can say that if two systems will have the same mass but the different stiffness, then their response will be different because their time period will be different. So it's a function of omega and zeta. It's not the function of k and m separately. It's a function of k over m ratio. ठीक है? k over m ratio का function है. It's not the function of k and m separately. ये मैं कहना चाह रहा था. Okay.
सर
So this जी बेटा.
सर क्या रियलिटी में दो सिविल स्ट्रक्चर्स का सेम हो सकता है ये टाइम पीरियड बिल्कुल सेम?
रियलिटी में कुछ भी हो सकता है बेटा. नॉर्मली बाय चांस हो सकता है. If the ratio will become the same, then the time period will be the same.
सर मगर ऐसा हम बिल्कुल प्रिसाइज होके तो नहीं कह सकते कि दो स्ट्रक्चर्स का मैस भी सेम है, डैम्पिंग भी और इस तरह से?
No, I am saying that if they are the same, if they are the same, the response will be the same. मैं ये कह रहा हूँ. In reality
Okay, sir.
होगा कि नहीं होगा वो different debate है. ठीक है?
Okay,
If
sir.
Just I said that the displacement response will be the function of the zeta and the time period. I said that. अब in
Okay.
reality it's same or different, ये इस पे कमेंट मैं नहीं करना चाह रहा, ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
अगर सेम होगा तो सेम रिस्पॉन्स होगा, ठीक है? The information which we are getting, which we have from this equation, मैं वो डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ आपको. Anyhow, this is the equation of motion. Next step. What are the different terms here? Mass matrix, acceleration vector, stiffness damping matrix, velocity vector, stiffness matrix, displacement vector. On the right hand side, we have this additional vector, that is the response influence coefficient vector. Okay. If because of a certain force, okay, this one we will discuss later, then we will solve the example. Okay. Just keep in your mind, I will discuss this one later. If we will have the force, inertial force because of a particular force, then the influence coefficient vector will be equal to 1. And because of some force, if the mass will not resist, we will not have the inertial force, the influence coefficient vector will be equal to 1. We will be equal to 0. ये बाद में discuss करते हैं anyhow. So what is the first step? We have to perform the model analysis. This is the expression to find to perform the model analysis. This one we have already discussed in detail. K matrix minus omega n square M matrix. Previously, the symbol which we have used, it was A. Now it is phi. Otherwise, it's same equation. We can find out the determinant of K minus omega n square mass matrix, and we can perform the model analysis. Model analysis is actually you will calculate the omega values and the corresponding model vectors. We can calculate the eigenvalues, eigenvectors. ठीक हो गया जी? No, we can transform the coordinates from the normal to the model coordinates. Okay, and then we can multiply that previous equation with phi t. So transform the coordinates. ये क्या हमारे पास? This is the equation of motion. So we can transform the coordinate from the normal to the model here. Phi, why we can use this equation. Phi velocity and then phi times the displacement. And then we can multiply through throughout with phi t. Okay. And then we can use the orthogonal property. By using the orthogonal property, this will be equal to another mass matrix. This will be equal to another damping matrix. And this will be equal to another stiffness matrix. Look at here. So we have the generalized mass matrix, generalized damping matrix, generalized stiffness matrix. And these matrices, they are diagonal. Okay. Mass matrix, stiffness matrix, they are diagonal. Okay. We have used the orthogonal property. On the right hand side, we have phi t, mass matrix R, and then we can divide the complete expression by capital M. So this will be equal to 1. This will be equal to C matrix divided by M matrix. This will be equal to K matrix divided by M matrix. And we can divide the right hand side by the M matrix. So look at here, we will have 1 here. What is C over M? अभी हमने किया है. C over 2M is zeta omega n. ठीक है? And C matrix divided by M matrix, that will be equal to 2 times zeta I. We will have, because we have n values, omega n. So simply look at here, 2 times omega n here, but here we will have 2 times zeta I omega ni. ठीक है जी? And then we have K over M. K over M is equal to omega n. And if it is a multi-degree freedom system, then we will have n omega values. So K over M under root, that is omega n, but we have K matrix divided by M matrix, that will be equal to omega ni square. On the right hand side, we have this one, phi t m r. We can divide with the mass matrix. What is the generalized mass matrix? This is equal to phi t m phi. So the right hand side, we can divide this mass matrix, and we have another thing, that is the model participation factor. This is zeta, model participation factor for a particular mode. ठीक है जी? So model participation factor multiplied by the ground acceleration. So we have this general equation, and this general equation, again, it's comparable with this equation. This is for the single degree of freedom system. This is for the multi-degree freedom system. Almost similar. We have the acceleration vector, velocity vector, and this is a displacement vector multiplied by 2 times zeta omega n, and here omega n I square. Okay. Any question up to this point? Any question up to this point? Umar, can you listen to me?
जी सर.
बेटा आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है अप टू दिस पॉइंट? किसी और का? Any student has any confusion?
नहीं सर.
नहीं है?
No, sir.
चलो,
No,
nice. चले. Okay, then you can find out the maximum displacement response in any mode. In the ith mode, this is any mode. Similarly, we can find out the maximum acceleration response in any mode, that is the ith mode. Look at here, maximum displacement for the single degree freedom system. What was the formula? Formula was very simple. You can see the value of the model displacement from the response spectrum. यही किया था ना? Simply see the value of the maximum displacement of the mass from the response spectrum. Again, you have to do the same because we have the n single degree of freedom equations. So we can use the same response spectrums which we have drawn for the single degree of freedom systems. We can use the same response spectrums which we have drawn for the single degree of freedom system. We can calculate. ये कहाँ गया? We can calculate the damping ratio. We can calculate the time period of omega values, and we can see the value of the spectral displacement from the response spectrum. What we have to do to find out the response of a certain mass in any mode of vibration, simply you have to multiply with the model participation factor and also with the corresponding value of the relative displacement which we can get from the model vector. Okay? This is the relative displacement of a certain mass in the first mode of vibration. This is the model participation factor, and this is the spectral displacement which you can see from the response spectrum. Similarly, maximum acceleration, you can see from the acceleration response spectrum, and you can multiply with the model participation factor and also with the relative amplitude or the acceleration for that particular mode. Okay. So we will have the response of the system or the different masses in each mode of vibration. We can calculate the response of the different masses in each mode of vibration. But we are interested to find out the total response. How can we calculate the total response? We can use the model combination rules. What are the model combination rules? The first method is absolute sum method. The second method is square root of sum of square method. The third method is complete quadratic combination method. In the absolute sum method, what we will do, simply we will add the response values in the different modes. Absolute values of the response in the different modes. Simply add them. That will be the total response. Okay. In the square root of sum of square method, you will take the square of the response in each mode of vibration. You will sum them and you will take the under root. Okay. Take the square of the response in each mode of vibration, add the response square of the responses in each mode of vibration, and then take the under root. So this will be the total response by using this combination rule. Okay. Any question? Any question?
No, sir.
चलें जी. If you don't have any question, let's solve one example now. We have the seismogram for the El Centro earthquake, north-south component of the El Centro earthquake, and these are the response spectrum: time versus the spectral displacement, time versus the spectral acceleration, and time versus the spectral velocity. Okay, and this is the system, and we have to find out the maximum top floor displacement and the base shear because of the El Centro earthquake. Who can read the statement? Statement पढ़नी बेटा बस. Any volunteer?
A 3-story building is modeled as 3 degree of freedom system.
Building is modeled as 3 degree of
Continue, please.
determine the top floor maximum displacement and base shear due to EL and 1940 earthquake ground motion using the response spectrum method. Take the interstory lateral stiffness of floor K1 is equal to K2 is equal to K3 16357.5 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per meter, and the floor mass M1 is equal to M2 is equal to 10,000 kg and mass 3 is equal to 5,000 kg. Mohammad Mohsin.
मोहसिन आपका रोल नंबर क्या है?
2017 CIV 191.
191. ठीक हो गया. Okay, we have the single bay 3-story frame. Story masses are given, story stiffnesses are given, and we have to calculate the top floor displacement and also the base shear because of the El Centro earthquake by using the response spectrum method. So if we have to use the response spectrum method, definitely we need the response spectrums for the El Centro earthquake. So these are the response spectrum which are given on the last page. Response spectrum for the El Centro earthquake. Okay. So first step is we have to perform the model analysis. Model analysis क्या होता है? You have to perform the model analysis means you have to calculate the mode values and the mode vectors. ठीक है? So you can write the mass matrix, stiffness matrix. This is the same example which I gave to you in the assignment. You have already calculated the mode values and the mode shapes. अगर आपने copy नहीं किया किसी ने, so already you people have solved this example, this problem. So half example you have already solved. So we can write the mass matrix, we can write the stiffness matrix, and then by taking the determinant of k minus m omega square m, we can find out the mode values omega 1, omega 2, omega 3. Once we have the mode values, you can find out the corresponding mode vector for each mode of vibration. For the first mode, this is the mode vector. For the second mode, this is a mode vector, and for the third mode, this is a mode vector. Any question for the model analysis? ये आपने किया हुआ assignment में, same problem है, नई चीज नहीं है इसमें. Can you perform the model analysis? Can you calculate the omega values and the model vectors? कितने लोगों ने खुद किया हुआ है? सबने खुद किया है? कोई नहीं बोला. उमर 172. उमर है कि नहीं? उमर आर यू ऑनलाइन?
सर उसके नेट का मसला होता है सर अक्सर.
उसका नेट का इशू है. ये दूसरा उमर बात कह रहा है. उमर कितने आपकी क्लास में?
2
उमर. सेकंड उमर?
सर उमर अभी ऑनलाइन है लेकिन उसकी आवाज नहीं आ रही सर.
5 उमर है. Anyhow, so I hope you have solved this example, this problem yourself. You have not copied it. So you can calculate the omega values. You can also calculate the model vectors. What is the next step? Next step is you have to calculate the model participation factor. Model participation factor phi 1t. Mass time, mass matrix multiplied by small r. This is the influence coefficient vector. This is the model vector for the first mode of vibration. You can take the transpose of that vector. Mass matrix is 10,000, 10,000, 5,000. You can take 5,000 outside. So we have 2, 2, 1. And then influence coefficient vector. What is this one? Look at here. If we have the lateral force, if the lateral force is acting, because of this lateral force, because this is an earthquake loading, we have the lateral force because of the earthquake. So this lateral force, because of this lateral force, there will be the inertial forces in all the three masses or not? क्या ख्याल है? If we have the inertia, if we have the lateral force, do we have the inertial forces in all the three masses? Because these three masses can move in this direction. This was our mathematical model. The masses can only move in the lateral direction, in the horizontal direction. So if there is some lateral force, there will be the inertial force in the same direction. ठीक है? कोई तो बोलो यार.
Yes, sir.
Look at this figure. If we have the lateral force, if we have the lateral force, so we will have the inertial forces because of three masses. So influence coefficient vector for these masses, that will be equal to 1, 1, 1, 1. For this particular case, R will be equal to 1 for each mass. But if some mass can move in another direction and the force is acting in some other direction, okay, mass is moving in one direction, force is acting in some other direction, then the inertial force will not be in that direction. So we will have the influence coefficient vector value for that particular mass equal to 0. ठीक हो गया? Clear है? For example, look at the mouse. We have the vertical member here, horizontal member here. We have the mass at this position. We have the mass at this position. Suppose this mass can move in the horizontal direction and a mass which is at the cantilever part, end of the cantilever beam or the horizontal member, it cannot move in the horizontal direction. It can move only in the vertical direction. So because of the lateral force, the influence coefficient value for the mass which cannot resist in the direction of the force, that will be equal to 0. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
So we have the vertical member here, horizontal member here, mass may be here, some mass at this position. And this mass can move in the horizontal direction. This mass cannot move in the horizontal direction. It can suppose only move in the vertical direction. Okay. So if the lateral force is acting, this mass will have the inertial force in this direction, but this mass will not have the inertial force in the direction of the force. So influence coefficient value for the mass which will not have the inertial force, that will be equal to 0. And for this mass which will have the inertial force, it will be equal to 1. So these three masses in this example will have the inertial force. So influence coefficient value for these three masses, that is equal to 1, 1, 1, 1. Again, transpose of the model vector for the first mode of vibration, mass matrix, model vector for the first mode of vibration, you will multiply, divide, and this is a model participation factor. Similarly, we can calculate the model participation factor for the other modes of vibration, for the second mode of vibration, for the third mode of vibration. Only difference is here that we have phi 2 here, here we have phi 3. ठीक हो गया? यहाँ phi 3 है, by mistake it's written here phi 2. So phi 2 here, phi 3 here. So we can calculate the model participation factor. Next step is we had to calculate the top flow displacement and the base shear. So in each mode of vibration, we can calculate the time period. So we can calculate the time period for the first mode of vibration. We can also calculate the damping ratio in the first mode of vibration. already we have uncoupled the equation of motion. So we have n single degree freedom equations. So for the first mode of vibration, we have one equation of motion. For the second mode of vibration, we have another. For the third mode of vibration, we have another. So we can calculate the time period separately in each mode of vibration. Time period will be equal to 0.3 seconds zeta value because CO2m is equal to zeta omega n. We can calculate the zeta value. Once we have the time period and zeta value, we can see the value of the spectral value of the displacement in the first mode of vibration from the spectral response spectrum. 0.3, 0.02 from the response spectrum. Along the x-axis, we have the time period. Along the y-axis, we have the response quantity. For the zeta value equal to 0.02. So we can see this value from the graph. This is the maximum displacement of the mass having the time period t and zeta value 0.02. Then we have to calculate the top floor displacement. If it's a single degree freedom system, then definitely this is the maximum displacement of the mass. But if it is a multi-degree freedom system, so this is the maximum displacement of the mass in the first mode of vibration. We can multiply with the modal participation factor and also with the relative displacement of that mass in the first mode of vibration. Top floor displacement, top floor is the mass 3. So this is the relative displacement of the third floor in the first mode of vibration. Relative displacement of the third floor in the first mode of vibration. And this is a modal participation factor for the first mode of vibration. We can multiply with this one, the displacement value, modal displacement value. You will have the top floor displacement. Similarly, what is the base shear if it is a single degree freedom system? Formula क्या base shear का? We discussed yesterday. Last lecture में हमने discuss किया था.
So MA.
K time the stiffness, sorry, stiffness time the displacement. यही है ना KURMA. You are right. Mass time acceleration or stiffness time the displacement. So again it's the same. We can see the spectral displacement from the graph and we can multiply with the stiffness. And then modal participation factor for the first mode of vibration. And this is the displacement of the first floor in the first mode of vibration. Okay? So we can calculate the base shear here. Additional we have here modal participation factor and the relative displacement at that particular floor. Similarly, we can calculate the top floor displacement in the second mode of vibration and also the base shear in the second mode of vibration. We can calculate the time period. We can calculate the damping ratio and we can see the value of the spectral displacement from the graph. Again, multiply it with this is a top floor displacement. So relative displacement of the top floor or the third floor in the second mode of vibration. Similarly, relative displacement of the first floor in the second mode of vibration. Modal participation factor for the second mode of vibration. Okay? So we can calculate the top floor displacement and the base shear in the second mode of vibration. Same formula we can use to calculate the top floor displacement and the base shear in the third mode of vibration. Okay, and then we can tabulate the values in the first mode of vibration. This is the top floor displacement. This is the base shear. In the second mode of vibration, this is the top floor displacement. This is the base shear. In the third mode of vibration, this is the top floor displacement. This is the base shear. Now we can use the modal combination rules. These are the values of the responses in the different mode of vibrations. But we are interested to find out the total response. What we can do, we can use the modal combination rule. Here, the square root of sum of square method is used. We can take the square of this response, square of this response, square of this response. We can add these three values and then we can take the under root. This will be the answer. So this is the absolute value. This is the displacement, actual displacement of the third floor because of the given loading. Similarly, we can use the square root of sum of square method, modal combination rules for the base shear, and we can calculate the total base shear at the structure. The top floor displacement and the base shear, they have been also calculated by using the time history analysis. On the same structure, time history analysis is performed, and these are the answers. And these answers, you can see they are comparable. From the time history analysis, the answer is 23.4. from the response spectrum analysis, the answer is 23.6. So they are comparable. Similarly, the Bayesian values from these two methods, they are comparable. So it's much easier to use the response spectrum than the time history analysis. Time history analysis is difficult to perform than the response spectrum analysis. In the response spectrum analysis, simply we have to perform the model analysis. We have to calculate the response in each mode of vibration, and then we can use the model combination rules to calculate the total response. Any question? जी बेटा.
सर जब हम नेगेटिव वैल्यू का स्क्वायर रूट लेंगे तो आयोटा नहीं आ जाएगा?
कहाँ पे आप नेगेटिव वैल्यू का स्क्वायर रूट लेंगे, मुझे बताएं. क्यों आयोटा आएगा बेटा? कहाँ उसके ये मेथड्स हैं?
आपने टेबल
नहीं
शो
बेटा
किया था.
Look at the model combination rules. These are the model combination rules. So first value is positive. So you have to add the absolute values of the different responses. Without the sign, simply add the values.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that is the absolute sum method. Second is, if you will take the square of the negative value, answer will be positive. Take the square of each response, sum them, and then take the under root. तो आपकी absolute value तो नहीं आनी चाहिए, sorry, iota value तो नहीं आनी चाहिए. All the values will be positive in both the methods. इसमें simply आपने add करना है responses को without the sign, and here you have to take the square of the responses and you have to sum them, and then you can take the under root. Answer will be positive. So any question? By using the response spectrum, we can solve manually. It's much easier than the time history analysis. If you have to perform the time history analysis, you have to use the numerical techniques. Definitely you can write the equation of motion, but you cannot solve analytically. But if you are using the response spectrum, we can see the response value against the natural time period and the damping ratio from the graph. We can calculate the response in each mode, and then by using the model combination rules, we can find out the total response. Any question? If you don't have any question, then you have the assignment. No, we have the two-story single bay frame. The mass of each story is given, stiffnesses are given, and you have to find out the top floor displacement and also the base shear by using the UBC 97 response spectrum. I told you already that we have the response spectrum given in the code, which is the average of many earthquakes. So for the design purpose, we take the response spectrum from the code. So by using the UBC 97 response spectrum, you have to find out the response of this structure, which is to build in Lahore. ठीक है, लाहौर में इसको हमने build करना है, इसमें बनाना है, and the type of the soil in Lahore is the stiff soil. Story stiffnesses are given, the floor masses are given. तो पहला step क्या होगा? What will be the first step? We have to perform the model analysis. We can calculate the omega values and we can calculate the corresponding model vectors. कर सकते हैं? Omega values and the model vectors. I hope you can perform the model analysis. You can calculate the omega values and also you can calculate the model vectors. Next step is we have to see the values. We need the model participation factor. We have to see the values of the maximum response from the response spectrum. So we need the response spectrum. So response spectrum, I have taken this response spectrum from the code, UBC code. So in this response spectrum, we need CA and CV. Okay. So if we have CA and CV, these are the acceleration and the velocity coefficients. We can plot this response spectrum. So how can we set? We can see the value of CA and CV. How can we get these values? First, we have to see the location where we have to design the building or the structure. It is to be designed, it is to be built in Lahore. Lahore is in which zone? किस zone में है?
2A.
Zone, Pakistan is divided into 5 zones and Lahore is in zone 2A. Okay. Then from this table, all these tables are given in the code. You can see the value of the seismic zoning factor, and for 2A, seismic zoning factor is 0.15. Okay. Type of soil is SD, stiff soil. So type of soil is SD, seismic zoning factor is Z. We can move to the next tables. We can see the value of seismic coefficient, acceleration coefficient from this table. SD is the soil type, Z value is 0.15, so SD value is 0.22. ठीक है जी? CA value is 0.22. Similarly, we can see the value of the seismic velocity coefficient from this table. Z value is 0.15. Type of soil is stiff, so stiff soil SD. Z is 0.15. So we can pick the value of CV from here, from this table. Okay. Once we have the value of CA and CV, we can plot this graph. And later on, we can use this graph to calculate the spectral acceleration. So we have only one response spectrum. And if we have to calculate the base shear, you need the spectral displacement. Also to calculate the top floor displacement, you need the spectral displacement. But we have the response spectrum, time period versus the spectral acceleration. We don't have the response spectrum of time period versus the spectral displacement. तो क्या करेंगे? What we will do? Any student? We have the plot for time period versus the spectral acceleration. We don't have the graph for the time period versus the spectral displacement. But to calculate the top floor displacement, and also to calculate the shear, we need the spectral displacement, not the spectral acceleration. What we can do? Very easy question, not so difficult.
सर बेस शेयर से डिवाइड करते हैं अगर
नहीं बेटा, बेस शेयर से क्यों डिवाइड करेंगे?
वो MA वाला रिलेशन है ना हमारे पास.
Okay, we can use the formula MSA, but to calculate the top floor displacement, what you will do? चले इसलिए formula change कर दिया आपने. You may use MA here. Mass times the spectral acceleration. Okay. How about the top floor displacement? You need the spectral displacement, not the spectral acceleration. Is there any relationship between the spectral acceleration and spectral displacement?
टाइम पीरियड से मल्टीप्लाई कर लें.
बेटा ये हमने किया हुआ है. Yesterday in the last lecture we discussed. Spectral displacement, or D, capital D, is equal to omega n square times A. Spectral velocity, displacement, and the acceleration, they are related to each other. Spectral displacement is equal to A over omega n square. Simply divide the spectral acceleration to the omega n square. You will have the spectral displacement. इसमें क्या issue है? Spectral displacement you have to calculate. Spectral acceleration you can divide capital A to omega n square. You will have the spectral displacement. And if you have to calculate the velocity, spectral velocity, you can divide the spectral acceleration to the omega n. ठीक है जी?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any question now? So you have to solve this this assignment. I think you don't need more time. In the next lecture you can submit the assignment. CR online है कि नहीं?
सर टाइम दे दें वो और भी काफी है.
नो सर 2 वीक्स दे दें काइंडली.
कितने वीक्स दे रहे हैं? सीआर क्या आपको? नहीं, दूसरा 183 रोल नंबर. So on the same day you have to submit the assignment on Thursday next week. Okay, so you have 1 week for this assignment. It's not so difficult. You have to perform the model analysis. You have to calculate omega values and then spectral model vectors. Okay, and then you have to see the values of the spectral acceleration from the graph. Multiply, you can get the answer. It will not take more than, I think, half an hour or 1 hour to solve this example. Maximum 1 hour. And if you are intelligent, you may solve in half an hour. Okay. All of you have, I think, can solve it in half an hour. So the submission date is next Thursday. Any question? Ji beta. Any other question?
No, sir.
No,